Welcome to the Purple Elephant Show. I am your host, KC Phoenix, and today we're going to talk about the unemployment situation. I'm looking at my notes here. With what's happening, now the Republicans are talking about something that I kind of was thinking about. And if you check the Instagram account, I I'm pretty sure I put something up on there with some notes I was working on because obviously I take notes during the weekend, then get ready to upload on the weekend. And I had mentioned the unemployment situation where you have the extra $600 coming in, and some people now are making more money being unemployed than when they were at work. I knew that was possibly going to be an issue to get people to come back. I had spoke to someone and she had told me because she knew a manager at a restaurant and she was telling me that the manager was having trouble getting people to come back and work because obviously they're making more money now, the ones who are unemployed. The way it should have been done, I think they should have put something in the bill to encourage people to come back to work, even though from Nancy Pelosi's point of view, she wouldn't want her and I guess her ilk wouldn't want people to come back to work too quickly because while people are on unemployment, that affects the unemployment number. It still keeps it high. So if the unemployment number stays high, that's something that they can use against the president around election time. But in in all reality, the only reason that they're staying unemployed is because they're making more money staying unemployed. I think that something should have been in the bill where they do is similar where you go to a job and you do a sign-on bonus or either with the military you do a sign-on bonus. I think they should have had something like that where if you lost your job due to the China Wuhan virus, then when things reopen up and the job wants you to come back, I feel the government should have done a not a sign-on bonus, but I guess a return to work bonus of $2,000 to say, okay, we're going to give you $1,000 up front, and that would be administered straight through the employer, not through the government like before. It would just be through the employer, but it wouldn't be taxed at all. And the government would reimburse the employer for that. So it would be $1,000 up front, and then after 3 months of them staying there, or 4 months, or 6 months, or whatever, they will receive another $1,000 while still staying at that job. And that will be the $2,000. Um, I also think that for the employers, they should also receive an additional deduction on top of whatever deductions they already have. Now, when it comes to employers, they can pretty much induct they can pretty much deduct almost anything related to employees and sometimes outside of employees too. But I feel that in addition to the regular deductions they would receive for the year, they should also receive a $1,000 deduction per employee that comes back to the job. The reason I say that is because the employer has to cajole the employee to come back, especially if that employee is receiving an extra $600 per payment with their unemployment benefits. So it's a thing of convincing the employee to come back. And if the employer is able to do that, I feel the employer should also be compensated some sort of way. And I think a $1,000 additional deduction per employee that comes back on top of the deductions they already receive would be a really, really good thing. And if the deduction runs negative, then just let it carry over for a few years, which I'm pretty sure in the tax code under certain situations, deductions can carry over for a few years. Because I'm pretty sure Amazon has done that because Amazon just started making a profit a few years ago. So I'm pretty sure there's something for that in the tax code. That would be better. And also, that would help the employer with future stuff that comes across their radar too, and would help make them a little bit more stable because that additional deduction gives them more time to get back on their feet too, because they're going to need time to get back on their feet. I still, and I'm not looking to be a pessimist. I do my best to find optimism in things. I also have to be a realist about certain things. And I know that a lot of people want to go back to work. I know that a lot of people want the economy to open. I still don't feel that the economy itself will be back to normal by the end of the year or by the beginning of next year. I'm not talking about a new normal, which that's going to be another show for later. But when it comes to the unemployment rate and other things involved, because so many businesses that have closed will not reopen, that in itself that in itself will affect how fast the economy continues to expand again. And I don't see a strong recovery happening probably until summer of next year. That's just my guess on it. I'm not saying that we're not going to bounce back. I just think it's going to take some extra time. So I'd be shocked. And if it does bounce back by the end of this year, hey, great. More power to the economy, more power to the president and his economists and his team. I'm all for it because obviously we want the United States to do well. It's just me personally, I feel like things won't really bounce back until summer of next year. But as for this particular thing with people being on unemployment and getting them to come back, I think doing a return bonus would be helpful because people are going to weigh their options where they can receive an extra amount of money over a period of time. And sometimes with bills being due, they would be able to take a lump sum of money and then use it towards everything they need to use it towards while still working. So that's just my personal thoughts on it. I just wanted to throw it out there. So that's all I got. Like, share, subscribe if you can, and comment. I love to see what you have to say, what you think about people coming back to work and letting go of the extra $600 or any ideas that you would think would help people come back to work. ThePurpleElephantShow.com, that will take you to Anchor Podcast for streaming. And then in the details section, you can find the YouTube channel if you want to watch the YouTube videos. Thank you again for supporting the channel. Be blessed.